Hey, what's going on, guys? Xbox All In channel. Host Sega Forever. Just wanted to do this quick video, get a little rant out. Um, Dang, sorry about that. A bit of background noise. But get my rant out concerning the state of Xbox as we know it right now. A lot of news dropped last week, or was it the week before? It was the weekend before. Phil Spencer's gone. He's actually retiring. Um, you know, just to say this, man. I mean, if you guys are Xbox since Xbox One generation, and you guys know what Phil's done for the console since he's taken over the Xbox division, then nothing really needs to be said. He should be. Unfortunately, it won't, right? Because the man has done a lot. Even if I've had disagreements with some of the stuff that he's done, say like 99% of the time, a lot of the stuff he did was Xbox was for the fans, for the community. Um, he deserves, man. He deserves to be celebrated. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. When this news hit, and it hit hard. It hit big. Like even I noticed, man. You guys know I've been actually busy doing other things, doing real world stuff, real life stuff, and my gaming's kind of fallen on the back burner. And then the only other game I've been playing is this game called Whiteout Survival. It's a mobile game. Been trying to play that game to get my head around the industry uh, on that level because I don't. You guys know I don't mess with handhelds and I don't mess with mobile. But just for the sake of my daughter, man, she's taking all these classes. Dude, I can't really talk to her about some of the stuff she wants to talk to. So I did a deep dive on that, and then I just played my games on Xbox. So with all that being said, it should be celebrated, dude, and it's sad that it won't be for Phil Spencer, right? Because you guys are like I said, you guys know like I do. As soon as the news hit, dude, it was just negative across the board. The man's not going to get his flowers, not going to be celebrated. Never mind all the stuff that he's done with the Xbox from the Xbox One generation, moving it forward, and all the everything that he's done that affects the actual gaming industry as a whole. A lot of it for the positive, right? None of that stuff's going to be said, right? Because of all the stuff that's going on in the gaming community, and I think it's sad. Now, on the other side of this, man, and look, guys, some of the stuff I'm going to say you guys not going to like. I'm just going to be 100 about it, okay? Um, and some of that is because of Phil, right? That's the hard reality of it, right? Because at the end of the day, this is why this is a rant video, man. The toxicity of this community, the toxicity of the community against the Xbox brand, and Microsoft as a company. And I'm not sitting here saying Microsoft does everything perfect. They don't do things wrong. Xbox made some mistakes, whatever, right? But for the most part, man, everything that Xbox has done, especially under Phil, has been to cater to the gamer, to the gaming community. Sometimes even the gaming community more than the actual Xbox community, right? He's done both. But at the end of the day, one of the reasons why this man will not be celebrated is because at the end of the day, dude, he didn't kill this narrative and this perception that's out there in the gaming community and the gaming industry concerning the Xbox. Right? And with that being said, though, I mean, nothing can be taken away from this man from the moves that he's made for taking a hold of the Xbox division when it was in a bad way. Regardless of, you guys, if you watch my videos, you guys know my thoughts on what I think about Xbox One and the launch. Right? I thought that was the system. This is why my channel is named Xbox All In. Right? It's the All In channel, right? Because I want the all-in-one box. And somewhere along the way, right, media, all the haters, they changed that narrative, right? Xbox One found itself in a certain way, and then Phil Spencer took over. And it was from when the time that Phil stepped in, and just from day one, man, he just took the brand to a whole nother level. Hey, what's up, Unlimited? Yeah, no worries, dude. Sorry, man. I don't normally do this late at night, at this time, or during the week, man. It's been hard for me. But yeah. This is gonna be a fast one, dude. Trust me. I was supposed to do a podcast with Hebot, but we've both been busy, dude. I actually had to work this weekend, so that kind of killed all that. Hopefully, we'll get one off on this. Hopefully, we'll get one off this weekend, or maybe it would have to be this weekend because I got to work all week. I think I'm off on Saturday, but I might have to work. If I don't work, man, I'll do the podcast with them. Right? And I got to give Hebot his flowers, dude. Of all the people that are out there that talk about gaming, man, Hebot is the only one, dude, that got this rate. The only one. And we'll get into it a little bit. But thanks, Unlimited. Daniel Berry, man, what's up, brother? Yeah, happy Monday, bro. Just doing a little bit of a rant. But thanks for being here. Yeah, so it's unfortunate, man. I feel some kind of way about it because he's not gonna, when he's gonna get his flowers, man? He'll get his flowers like 10, 15 years from now, or maybe even 20, 25 years from now, when there's some kind of Hall of Fame thing for him and all of this stuff goes to the wayside. That's when it'll finally happen. But at the end of the day, man, I can't, you know, it didn't have to be this way, man, but unfortunately it is. Right? And so moving forward, right, Phil's retiring and Sarah Bond's leaving. Now, if you guys listen to my channel again and the videos I've done, I'm a big fan of Sarah Bond, right? But sometimes I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Obviously, Sarah had a vision. Obviously, she was moving the Xbox division in a certain way. We all figured that she was going to be the person to take over. That's what I was looking. Dude, I'm a huge fan of Sarah. I really like a lot of the stuff that she did, or she does for Xbox, and she's going to continue to be doing it because she put her footprint on it, right? But with that being said, man, sometimes things just don't work out. And again, dude, I'm like listening to people online talk about this, and I can't stand it because I look at Sarah Bond and she's a very accomplished woman, right? She's educated. She's her portfolio of jobs that she worked at, the things that she's done. That's what brought her over to Microsoft. That's what allowed her to get the reins and supposed to get the keys to the kingdom. And that didn't work out that way. But at the end of the day, dude, that's just business. That's just the way it is, dude. There's people doing that's happening to people left and right all over the industry, especially in technology right now. For the longest time, man, technology thought they couldn't be touched. They were bulletproof. Now you see all the videos online where people they get an email, say they have a Teams meeting, go on the Teams meeting, 2,000 people gone. Some of these people in the upper echelons of management, right? All these tech companies, man, they're redirecting, changing course, doing whatever. You got AI going on, right? And at the end of the day, sometimes that's what happens, man. I mean, and I'm not gonna sit here and put a blame game. I'm not gonna cheapen, man, this woman's legacy that she did at Xbox, right? That's just the way the cookie crumbles, man. Look, she's gonna be fine. I told you guys in a couple of videos ago, I wanted her to take the spot in Microsoft because I thought she would actually leave, but somebody else is gonna pick her up. Now I know there's rumors of stuff that went on in the background, whatever, man. But if you guys are talking about woke stuff, dude, Microsoft is woke. I don't know what else to tell you guys. The only difference between Microsoft being woke and other companies is they're not as psychotic as like a Disney, right? And that's just what we have to deal with, dude. You guys know I don't like woke stuff. You guys know if you guys watch my videos, you know my politics. Right, but at the end of the day, dude, if you bleed green, what do you bring to the table? What do you give? And there's a lot of stuff that Sarah did that was good. Now, for some of the campaign and stuff like that, as you guys know, for the last 2 years, man, especially the last 8 to 12 months, right? Me and Hebot, right? We haven't been too happy with some of the stuff that Xbox is doing. But at the end of the day, dude, like I told you guys in my other videos, I turn on my Xbox and just play my games. That's what I've been doing. But I'm not gonna do that, dude. It's like I won't do that to Phil Spencer either, man. Sometimes you just need a change. It happens, dude. You guys, most of you guys on, look, Daniel Barry's here, right? Most of you guys that watch my videos, I'm pretty sure you guys watch sports, like I do. You guys know I'm a Steelers fan. I'm pretty sure if you guys are like if you guys watch this season, dude, if you're a Rams fan, you probably hated the way the playoffs ended. Your team didn't go to the Super Bowl. That was your big chance, right? But what do, man? You're sad. You have a little bit of a pity party, man. You cry a little bit. You do whatever. Then you gear up, man. Drafts around the corner, dude. Summer camp, dude. New season kicks off. That's what it is. So this shouldn't be hard for everybody to understand. This is something that Xbox has decided to do and Microsoft's decided to do. Now we can get into the minutia. I wish Eva was here because we were talking about this offline. We had a couple phone calls talking about this because we could dive deep on it. But at the end of the day, man, what Microsoft looks like they're doing is, and again, no hate on Sarah, no hate on Phil. Right? It's just that they're going to move in a different direction. That's what it looks like. And some of the stuff, if you watch the article here, let me share this because this is the article that everybody's talking about. Oh, sorry, Ray. Yeah, Unlimited, man. Thanks. Ray says, for me, Xbox didn't hit in first-party games. For me, Xbox for now is quick resume. The feature keeps me locked in, lock me in the platform. I want to applaud the guy who pitched this feature. Yeah, Ray. There's a lot of stuff that I liked at Microsoft. I love the picture-in-picture stuff they used to have. I used to love to play Forza Horizon and use my own music. or the snap feature, right? There was on the 360. There's this thing where you could do stuff for friends, like it's interactive and watch movies. And look, a lot of that stuff. Some of it's licensing. There's all I don't want to the minutia of it. But yeah, that's Xbox always pushing the envelope. Right? That's what they're always doing. Their first party games, dude. I mean, I have no problem with their first party games. I think for some people, they were expecting maybe a little bit more. I don't know. At the end of the day, but at the end of the day, Ray, I'll be honest with you, man. I don't trust other people's opinions and stuff because people don't really game, dude. Like growing up playing video games, dude, I just gamed, right? And then some games you like, some games you didn't like, but you just gamed because you were a gamer. Ray says the Xboxer vision. She managed to create many Xboxers. And that's something that I'll be honest with you, Ray. I'd love to see what happened. I'd love to be in that meeting and whatever data that they saw that caused them to change course or giving the appearance they're going to change course. Because for all intents and purposes, and let me share this really quick, guys, because I can't be on here too long. I got to roll. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. We'll have a full thing when we do the podcast with Hebot. Hold on. Dang, dude, I hope this thing doesn't shut off, bro. Because I've been having problems with this. Can you guys see that? Hold on, let me try again. Hold on. What is this? Come on, try this again. Share screen. There we go. Hold on. It wouldn't pop up, guys. Sorry about that. So I'm pretty sure you guys saw this interview. It's done by Jez Gordon over at Windows Central. Oh wait. Dang it, it's not the one. Well, anyway, Jez Gordon did a interview at Windows Central. Let me see if this can do it. So that's how you know I haven't been doing videos. I think this is the one, right? Can you guys see it? There we go. Yeah, Ray, but to your point, this is the one that everybody's been talking about. Shout out to X1 Gamer. He did a good video, a good set of videos. The last 4 or 5 videos he did is on point. Really like what he put out there. Also, Chaos Lounge put out a couple great videos as well. I mean, I do listen to these guys, man, but as I tell you, it's hard for me to follow a lot of people. Right? Maybe because I'm just a jaded old gamer. So every once in a while, these guys will say stuff, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. But they put out some really great videos, man. Because at the end of the day, I don't know why gamers still listen to a lot of these gaming sites and a lot of these influencers that are online. I know that there's people that follow these influencers, like let me think off the top of my head, or like people who go to IGN for news, or they Yang Ye and all these other dudes that go and listen to them. I know that there are audiences that just hate Xbox. So I know why they get views, but I don't know if you really wanted to actually get to the nitty gritty of all of this kind of stuff, why you go there to those channels, right? Because it's biased. And again, this is all speculation. Like, for example, a lot of the stuff to me that Asha is saying, Asha Sharma, or is that her name, right? Asha is saying, sounds good. I'm not gonna lie, right? Right? Getting back to Xbox, talking about the exclusives, focusing on the fan base, focusing on the consoles, But at the end of the day, we still got to see what she does, right? But for all intents and purposes, man, from the stuff that I hear, dude, she's speaking my language, and I like it, right? And I'm not gonna lie, dude, it's got me a little bit energized, Because like I said, dude, I didn't step away from Xbox. Xbox is my system of choice. I'm not gonna turn into no pony, and I'm not gonna turn into no Nintendo weirdo, right? You know, you guys know I bleed green. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm gonna be until Xbox, whatever happens in the future, right? I'm gonna be playing my system, right? That's how it's gonna be. That's just the way I am. But with a lot of the stuff she said, man, I'm liking what she's saying. And to your point, as you said, Ray, the Xboxer vision, she managed to create many Xboxes. Like Sarah had a visions that she was going down, right? A lot of us didn't like that vision. Like I was one of them. You know, this is an Xbox. I talked about this ad nauseum, right? You know, respect Sarah, respect what she was doing. Didn't really care for that. Same thing with Phil, right? I've been harping on Phil to kill this console war, to get involved in the console war and kill it. In my last video, when I ranted, I specifically said, "Look, Phil, if you really care about Xbox and you care about the gamers and you care about the developers and all the people that work under you, man, you have to participate in this console war and you have to destroy Sony." That's just the reality of it. You have to do something, man. Instead, you just let it go and it just festered to the point we are now. So when all of this, again, like I said, Phil Spencer should be getting a star in the Video Game Hall of Fame, right? But is he going to get that? No. Everything was. If you see the articles, man, when all this stuff released, Xbox is dead. Xbox is dead. You know, Xbox is dead again. They're sunsetting Xbox. All this stuff, dude. Even these guys like Seamus Blackley, man, was coming out saying stuff. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why that is, dude, because it's been like that since we never dealt with it. We should have dealt with this back in Xbox One. You've heard Heapot talk about Call of Duty, right? And some of the stuff we could have done with the titles and the companies that we bought, but Xbox would never do that, and especially under Phil Spencer. Right? This is why a lot of the other interview everybody's talking about is Peter Moore. That's another great interview, where he gives his opinion on it. Dude, if you had Peter Moore in that position, man, you think he'd be playing nice with these guys? No. And ultimately, dude, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, man. You guys not gonna like this, but this is the way it is. Ultimately, man, that's one of the downfalls of Xbox right now. So if Asha is serious, right? If she's serious about getting back to Xbox and being the rebels and all the stuff that she says in this interview, right? If she's serious, there's two things she needs to do, right? And the first thing is to destroy Sony. That's the first thing she needs to do. She needs to destroy the PlayStation and their fans and their company. That's number one. Right? And I know, hey, Unlimited, bro, I heard you guys podcast, right? I know, I think it was you or E-Rock said something about emotion or whatever. No, it's not. This is not emotional, bro. Like I say in my videos all the time, bro. These Sony ponies have been holding this industry back for over a decade. We have not been able to move forward, right? Because everything focuses around them. They're coddled to by the media, the fan base, right? People use it as fodder on the internet, and it's always attacking Xbox, dude. And unless Xbox deals with this, unless Asha, right, deals with that toxicity, deals with that hate, and deals with this false narrative and perception, right? This is nothing's going to change. I don't care how many exclusives they make. I don't care how great the games are, right? Because at the end of the day, dude, every time Microsoft does something, dude, there's a cadre of people that just dump on it. Look what happened with Phil, dude. Probably one of the greatest guys that's going to go down in gaming history, right? In the 25 years when we get past all this crap, and people are going to finally give him his flowers. By that time, it's too late, dude. That doesn't help us right now, right? And what I'm hoping for is that when I look at what Asha's saying, right, it looks like she's going to be a breath of fresh air. A lot of times, dude, when these companies make these kind of changes, and it's pretty drastic. Let's be honest with you, right? It's pretty drastic, right? And again, sorry, Ray, I'm going off on a tangent, but the Xbox division, she managed to create many Xboxers. I would have loved to seen what happened. What's the data? Because you guys know Microsoft, right? They collect a ton of data on all this kind of stuff, and something happened, right? With that quarterly whatever data they pull for their numbers, there was something wrong with the algorithm. Something was afoot, right? They saw something that they did not like, right? And I have my theory on it, guys, and I'm gonna let you guys know right now. One of the things I think happened, right, is that the numbers, right, was not supporting what Microsoft normally gets, especially when it comes to the fan base supporting the console and the games. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I've been taking a step back on this, right? And it's not out of hate, right? I've been busy. Through the economy went through a little bit of a drop, and a furlough happened for a lot of people, right? I was one of them, right? Wasn't getting paid, had to work, which is fine, right? God turned that negative into a positive for me. Thank God. Right. But at the end of the day, I couldn't. I had other stuff to focus on. Right. And again, this is more than just gaming. There's the economy. It's all the stuff that's going on in the world. People are not focusing on that. Right. There's more things going on in life right now than this. But since we're in this gaming space, right, there's something that they looked at that they did not like, and they're making a drastic change. And I think what it happens is there's a reliable number that they get from the people who are actually the core of Xbox, the hardcore, like you're saying, right? And then with that last dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. And Hebot said it perfectly. I wish he was here. Hebot said it perfectly, man. Like when you saw that dude wearing that PlayStation sweater on the Xbox thing, dude, I couldn't believe that, dude. And then Hebot said something that I didn't have my mind wrapped around at all, right? Is that the potential of PlayStation getting a physical copy of of a first party Xbox game like Forza Horizon 6, the newest one, and then the rest of us have to buy digital. We can't buy a physical copy. Like Xbox and Microsoft will do that for PlayStation guys, right? And the Xbox guys only will be able to buy digital. So they'll have physical copies of our first party games while we have nothing. Right? And it's just tiring, dude. I know I'm tired of it. Because at the end of the day, man, this is the stuff we deal with. And they're just gonna dump on us constantly. Right? Like I said, a billion times on my channel, dude. I'm not gonna fight for a company. I'm not like when Phil and Sarah was there, dude, love them to death, but I'm not gonna fight for them. Not when they don't fight for them, fight for us. Dude, again, I'll bring it up, man. When Phil put the smackdown on Crap Gamer. Like we all know Crap Gamer. We all know he could be a prick. Right? We know what kind of guy he is. But at the end of the day, dude, he bleed green. He was one of us. And I had never seen Phil Spencer ever put the smackdown on anybody. Two people he put the smackdown. One, and it was kind of a smackdown, but Peter Moore, they're in an interview. Peter Moore was going to say something, and Phil kind of shut him up. That's number one. And the other guy I seen him do that to Crap Gamer. Regardless of what you feel about Crap Gamer, man, that dude bled green. Right? He was in the trenches. Him, Zaire, all those guys. Right? And that's the only time I see Phil get something up his ass. The only time. And it was for people that like in the case of um, Peter Moore, passed the baton, right? He had a moment in time with Xbox, and then Crap Gamer. Dude, the PlayStation guys crap on us all the time. Sony does evil crap as a company. Does evil crap to Xbox brand all the time, right? And nothing, right? You don't freaking crickets when it comes to that. Nothing, right? And then Sarah being Sarah, look, she is who she is, man. But at the end of the day, we needed somebody out there, right, fighting, and they just weren't doing it. So what I hope with this new CEO is that look, I don't need her to go out there in the trenches scrapping with people. Some of the stuff I've seen she done on social media, she acknowledges, she's participating, she's acknowledging, and then we'll see what she does, right? But sitting there and not saying anything, and then the only time you say anything is to dump on your own fan base, dude. That crap got tired, and that's you're right. That's why a lot of these dudes, man. Like I'll just be straight with you guys, dude. You don't have to sell your Xbox. You don't have to join PlayStation. You don't have to go to Nintendo. You just don't care. I told you guys this 3 years ago, man. The thing that because I noticed this 3 years ago, man, was I was seeing stuff going on in the gaming community. The worst thing that could happen to video gaming is apathy for a fan base, and the Xbox fan base is apathy when people just don't care. I mean, when I mean they don't care about anything to the point where no matter what Asha does, dude, people they might not get people back, right? Because sometimes, man, when people get to a certain point and they don't care, they're done. That's what I do. That's what I've been like, dude. I'm the biggest Disney fan. I walked away. I could care less what they do. They could do a complete 180 on everything that they've done for the last 10 years with the Marvel Universe, with the Star Wars brand, right? With the stuff that they do with their own brand, all the crap that they were pushing, all the crap that they would put out there and then blame you, the fan, for not caring about it, right? They were doing all that crap, you know. So for me, I'm done, dude. Like when I say I'm done with them, I'm done, dude. I can always go and watch Hercules. I can always go and relive the good old days. Right? I don't have to subscribe to their channel, dude. I got most of their content anyway because I've been a Disney fan my entire life. So I just occupy that space and enjoy myself right there. I don't need to. And that's the sad thing about it, man, because I see them trying to do stuff now. I don't care. And I hope it's not too late for Xbox, for some of these guys. Ready to answer your question. Sorry, that was kind of long-winded. The only thing Sarah had for me personally was the mobile store, still MIA, whereas Forza Mobile. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know she was the cloud, and look, I'm the first one, but I didn't like cloud when it first started. I couldn't use it, and then over time, it became more than what it is. So I know she was out there putting her stamp on stuff, right? And again, dude, I think just and to be honest with you, I just think with AI and everything that's going on, the way the market is, everything shifted so fast, and that's what happened. And I'm with you on this, Ray. I had big hopes for Asha. Me too. I had big hopes for her as well. Again, she's saying the right things. Just got to sit back and see. I mean, are they going to make all the games? I don't know. Are they going to bring those games back? I think people were okay, even begrudgingly. They were okay. So, like, if you had a game like Bethesda made, or certain companies, certain studios were making certain games because they come from a multi-console background, right? People were like, okay, yes, no, whatever. Like, I hear StarCraft's going to go to PlayStation, right? Finally. Like that's another thing that pissed me off, dude. Just do it, bro. Just put it out there. Don't sit back there and act like you sly. That's what people was pissing people off too. I know it pissed me off, but I can't stand that, dude. Just put it all out there. Boom. Right. Well, we're looking at this number, looking at the whatever, dude. Now because it's eventually like, look, it's gonna go, right? April. That's what they're saying. April's gonna go. Just get it all out there, out in the open. So I don't know like how they're gonna reverse that. If I was them, dude, I would never put Halo, never put Gears, never put Forza. Wouldn't put Fable. Every title that is a Xbox brand that makes Xbox the brand that it is, right? Because that's what it boils down to at the end of the day. That's why I think they're bringing her in, man, is to do damage control on the brand. Because like you say right here, Ray, they have data. They must be able to like, know who gives them money. Could cloud/stream gamers or the people who bought the box? Yeah, 100%. And then Asha said a very good thing in the interview too, right? Not chasing those audiences, and that's what they were doing, dude. Disney did the same stupid thing. Marvel did the same stupid thing. They said, "Screw you guys who've been rocking out with us, who helped set the foundation and built this stuff, right? Screw you." And then we're gonna go after people that maybe might every so often check out our content and pay for stuff. Because those guys don't buy the Funko Pops. Those guys don't buy the movies. Don't buy. Those guys don't go to 7-Eleven and buy the ridiculously large Guardians of the Galaxy cup, which I still have. That's me. That's guys like us, not the clowns that they were trying to cater to. Same thing with Xbox, man. At the end of the day, these dudes are not buying. Look, PlayStation. We say this all the time. PlayStation guys don't even buy their own games. Why would they buy our games? And then you look at what happens when something comes out, or the narrative that's online with these PlayStation guys. Dude, they hate Xbox. And Asha needs to realize that's the other thing she needs to realize, right? Microsoft needs to get out of their bubble and realize that there's people that hate them just because they exist, and trying to cater to these people. Dude, you see what's going on in the Middle East right now, right? Or you see what happened in Venezuela with the president? You saw what he did, right? Some people, for years, man, we've been trying to appease these people, we gave them money. We told them, oh, if we share this technology, we let you do this, and then let's all get along, dude. And they just spit in their face. That's what it is. That's what it's like, right? And then you get a president like we have now. He comes in there and he just lays waste to everything. Right? That's what Microsoft needs to do. I ranted about this in my last video that I did talking about this crap. Right? Dude, when it comes to Microsoft and their stuff, dude, they tell you what you're gonna take, and if you don't take it, tough. So if they're gonna do that with their software, man, let's just do it with Xbox. That's what I want to see. Right? And to me, that's what she needs to do. Because at the end of the day, dude, it's not going to change anything. They need to come in, kick the door down, and lay to waste the entire industry as it is. Because the media is corrupt, the freaking the fan base, the other fan bases and stuff like that. They're just tribal. They're going to stay where they are. Right? You need to shake this thing up, flip it upside down, and lay everything to waste, and then just build from the ground up. Because a lot of people, man, are not in the camps. Right? Do we have our hardcore stuff like that? What you want to do, dude, you want to have everything there for everybody when they want it, and that's how you draw in more people. Right? Because you're not going to get everybody, dude. Even Marvel couldn't get everybody, and they were huge. That brand was untouchable. That brand is kind of still untouchable. That's the only reason they were able to make those crappy movies one after another that nobody really liked. But because everybody loved the brand, right? They were just kept on going and watching it. I had to give up after Phase 3. My son wanted to watch the last Doctor Strange. I went because my son wanted to watch it, but then I was out. Boom, because I could see the direction it was because they did the same thing in comic books. That's why the industry flopped because they did crap like that. The only ones that was holding it together were the indies. And for a while, DC when Jim Lee went over there and they were running those mega arches that was going across titles like old school style back from the 80s, 70s, and 80s. That was the last bastion of hope, and it all collapsed. And then anime just came in, or manga came in, and the anime took over. Because you know why? You know why? Right? Because they understand who their audience is and what their audience likes. So they cater to the audience, right? And then hopefully people that are not the audience become the audience. And that's what she needs to do. She has to realize that. I think I like I said, I like what she says, but what she does. But she's like, okay, this is Xbox. This is what we do. This is what we really. This is the games that we have. They lost that identity. Dude. Get that identity back, man, and let your core carry the way. And then when you get people to come in, they'll come in for the right reason. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna come in because they like your games or they like your ecosystem, right? And that's how you build fans, and that's how you get loyalty. I don't know why this is so hard in 2000. As smart as we are, as all the technology we have, we do the most stupidest crap. It just blows my mind. But yeah, the data they must have, yeah, they something, dude. They saw something that they did not like. And I'll be honest with you guys, dude. I wasn't buying Jack, and it wasn't against them. No time, no money, right? And I just realized, look, I have other games I gotta play. That was my reality, right? Because, like I said, Xbox Vanilla. That's how I was feeling, man. I talked to Hebot about this. I was like, Xbox Vanilla. Like, what is it? It's just Xbox being vanilla. It's just a box sitting underneath my TV that I play my games on, right? Can't buy movies on it. Can't do any of this stuff. Xbox all in channel, all in one console. Can't do any of that stuff. So I'm just looking at it as a piece of hardware, as a console, but a piece of hardware just sits underneath my TV, and then when I want to play something, just turn it on. Right? Because I don't need to watch anything on Xbox. I don't have to watch YouTube on Xbox. I don't have to watch Crunchyroll. I have all those apps on there. Used to, right? Because I'd be playing games, watching, doing stuff like that. I can just turn on my TV now. So I don't know if they're gonna get that back, Ray. I don't. I really don't. The console is the Costco subscription, exclusive of the $1.50 hot dog. The profit of the third party gives exactly, 100% correct, Ray. 100% correct. I've even used this analogy with what they're trying to do, dude. And it was working, dude. That's why you have all the developers now. The big name developers, right? Those guys, right? But then again, they're looking at the model wrong. And granted, dude, they're big, right? And if it doesn't work for them, they can step away. But it was the little guys and the middle guys that was benefiting from that, dude. And the amount of stories that was coming out, right? Because again, man, you're putting your game out there to get people to experience it, and then hopefully those people will play your game. And the great thing about this model is that you can make the game that you want, not the game that just people want you to make. Because that's where that creativity gets stifled. And that's another thing she talked about, right? The creativeness of it. Trust me, I know, man. My daughter's a creative. That she's dealing with AI right now and some of the stuff that they're doing, right? But at the end of the day, dude, it's everything's driven off of that creativity. And then if you're gonna do the money part, if that's what you glom onto, dude, then just go ahead and do it. Go to Take Two and say, hey, how much would it cost to make this exclusive? This what is it called? Grand Theft Auto exclusive for Xbox. Not a year exclusive. That's the kind of hardball they need to play, dude. And they have the money to do it, dude. They have the money to do it. But great. Costco is the console is Costco subscription. Exclusives are the $50 hot dog. The profit are the third party games. So thank you. Great. That's a great analogy. Great. Phil's biggest failure is creative freedom policy. I loved it. Wait, Phil's biggest failure was and is creative freedom policy. I loved it until I discovered the first party studios decided to waste Microsoft resources. Never wild, perfect dark. Yeah, and that's what happens a lot of times, right? And they were doing that before with third party, right? But at the end of the day, like you have to have that type of heavy hand. And again, to your point, Ray, that looks like what that they're gonna do. Asha's gonna be the face. Matt Booty's gonna be the enforcer, and I want to see Matt unleashed, right? Because he said something I 100% believed in back in the day when he talked about the potential Microsoft can do in the gaming industry. They need to get back to that. That statement he made about they could just spend everybody into oblivion. That's what they should revisit that. And the reason I say this, guys, dude, and again, it's not emotional, dude. This is what you're gonna have to do to make your space in the gaming industry. If you want to take over this industry, you're gonna have to go hardcore, right? You're gonna have to bring in the B-52s, daytime, nighttime, don't matter, B-52s, and use that power and just drop and devastate the industry as a whole. Because the media is not gonna help you. And you know that's the sad thing about the media, because they rely so much on Microsoft. When Microsoft is quiet, the media has nothing to say, unless they're gonna revisit something like, oh, let's look at that what happened with the Xbox One for the thousandth time. Media's trash, man. Like, and these guys need to understand that these people are not your friends and they don't care about you. And you shouldn't have to extend the olive branch to them either. Don't have to be a prick about it. You don't have to try and take them out. What I'm saying is that you don't have to really care about what they think. Do what you guys know that you need to do to get the brand back online and take care of the core fans and get the Xbox brand back to where it needs to be. Right? Just take over. I'm telling you, man. That's why I said in my other videos, just buy everybody. Buy as many people as you can. And the people that you can't buy, make it hard for them not to be on Xbox. I know that doesn't sound cool. That's pretty prickish. But at the end of the day, dude, unless they do these things, man, none of this stuff's gonna matter. It's not. It's not. No matter what Xbox does, man, these people will hate them. So they need to come out hardcore and own this. Again, Windows 11. Do you hear people online complaining about things? When do people not complain? But you see what I'm saying? People are not happy about it. People complaining. Microsoft, yeah, sure, maybe we'll do this and that, but at the end of the day, boom, give me your money. F you, give me your money. Like the mafia. So and look, dude, people might not. I respect it though, and at the end of the day, I think you guys need to just do that with Xbox, your brand, and your software, all of that, and a bag of chips, and just do that. Just start to do that. I know, man. You guys will be evil, evil empire, greedy corporation. You know what? They already say that stuff about you. They think that stuff about you anyway. One of my favorite quotes of all time. Let them hate as long as they fear. That should be the mantra of Xbox. Remember when we had "It's a monster" or "It's a beast" or what is it? "It's a monster." I actually have that shirt. "It's a monster." Love that. We need to get back to that. But that's what I would put there. You know, let them hate as long as they fear. That should be you guys' new mantra. Ray says, "I want State of Decay 3 now, not in a century." We say PlayStation Studios are slow and only releasing remasters. Right now, Xbox Studios release a game a decade except Obsidian and Playground. Yeah, how long have we waited for State of Decay 3? The only thing that's kept me satiated with State of Decay 3, I mean, I'm like you, Ray, that's one of my favorite titles. One of my favorite games on Xbox is State of Decay. Glad that Microsoft took these guys under their wing and they're trying to put out the best game as possible. The only thing that's been able to satiate me is just the number of games we get because of Game Pass and because I buy my games. That's the only thing that's been that I've been able to overlook some of this stuff, right? And look, I played Avowed, um, great game. Not the probably the game I thought it was gonna be, but still a great game. I had a lot of fun with it. I played it twice, played it through twice, because it's kind of a game that's built that way. Outer Worlds 2, not. You know what it was, dude? I had one of these things that happened to me where I had this like fault and then it's become irritating on the game. So I'm gonna have to restart it. So I just never went back and played it. Cool game though, great game. Now I'm playing. Now I'm stuck on Star Sand Island, dude. I love the game. So I just play that every day. But yeah, great point, Ray. I'm not 100%. You need to get that. And hopefully with Matt Booty being elevated like that, dude, you start cracking the whip on these guys. Right? And it's gonna be tough, man. They're gonna have to like you have your magnum opus and then you have the game as it is. And I know that's hard for a lot of people, right, to understand, but that's just the way the industry is, dude. It's always been that way. Like some of the stuff that we're doing, man, I don't understand where this stuff comes from. I really don't. Like the attitude, the way people, the work ethic, all of that stuff. Hey, what's up, T? Yeah, I'm just doing a quick rant, dude. I gotta what time is it? Yeah, I gotta have to wrap it up in a second, man, because I didn't want to go that long. I actually wanted to do a podcast with Heba, because me and Heba were talking about this last week. And Heba, dude, I want to do a podcast with him. It's just gonna be me and Heba, guys, and it's gonna be the Heba show, right? Because Heba, man. This dude is like Nostradamus when it comes to video games. There's some stuff I see, but not on the level that he brought does. But hey T, thanks for being here, brother. I wanted to love about. I like the promise. I was going to be an envoy of the most powerful empire in the world, just to arrive and people spit in your face like you were a nobody. Yeah, yeah, they did, right? I mean, I like the play mechanics as well. I love the dual wielding that you could do on some of it. It took me a little while to get around what they were trying to do. Like how you pick your class and all that kind of stuff. It was kind of ingenious. I think it's because I played so many of these type of games. It was a breath of fresh air to me. But yeah, to me, dude, I'll be honest with you, Ray. There's a lot to be desired in the game. But for a first game, I thought it was pretty good. But there's a lot of things I hope they look at when they make the sequel, if they do make the sequel. I hope they do, because there's a lot to build on. And to your point, yeah, the story was kind of cool, but it fell a little flat in it. You can tell like they wasn't like they had great ideas, right? But they just had a problem executing it. It's the story and the narrative. Some stuff was really cool and it hit up part, but a lot of times there's this inconsistency in it, and you can tell that was their just forte. They're new to this. They're trying to grow. They're trying to make bigger games, and it's just growing pains. But I mean, but I enjoyed about. Like I said, I played it twice. I played it through twice. So I like that mechanic of it. There's a lot of things that they should keep, but like you said, there's other things that they could work on. And some of the choices too, it kind of mattered, but it was interesting. But I think they need to, if they can do a deep dive in that, I think that's what they're going to be using AI for. I beat RE9 day one. Damn, dude, you the man, bro. The problem was ZeniMax wanted a live service. I mean, yeah, if they wanted to, right? But they gotta take the lumps with that. That's the thing I don't like. Like these people, like these game developers, man, they want to take these risks, or they have these visions and these ideas, but then when it doesn't work out, right? And sometimes it doesn't work out just because people don't gravitate towards it, right? It's not because like sometimes it's not because the game sucks. It's just like it just wasn't, like there's just certain games like I see that get popular. Then I play them. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a pretty cool game, but why is it so popular? It's and there's so much stuff out there, bro. Like how do you um there's just a lot of content out there. I was listening to the Chaos Lounge and he was saying about one of the first moves that uh, Asha's doing is that she's doing something with the marketing team. They're going to get more serious about it, which I think is good, right? I don't buy into some of the stuff with the marketing just because the way technology is, man. Nobody's, it depends on what they do with the marketing. If they can recapture, like she said, that rebellious attitude, that rebel attitude that Xbox had in the beginning, right? Because they were hungry. They were just entering a market, so they wanted to be noticed. They're pushing the envelope on a lot of stuff, which I love. Avowed has MMO DNA. This is why the NPCs are static. Yeah, yeah, 100%, right. I mean, there's just parts, man. When I'm playing the game, it looks amazing, but then there's other parts where you can see, they didn't, they have to wrap up the game, so they couldn't touch on everything. So I hope they're working on that. Like to me, they have to go the opposite direction. They have to like start focusing, like on a game like Avowed, like really just focusing on that. Because Microsoft has deep pockets, dude. They can fill. They're doing that all the time with Game Pass. They're just filling stuff in there all the time, right? Like they dropped Witcher 3. Dude, they dropped so much stuff, dude. I can't even get to it all. And then when I find a game like Star Citizen Island that I like playing, that game's a time crunch. So, dude, I'll be playing that game and lose all track of time. Ray says they changed course mid development like Redfall. Oh, yeah, I could see that, dude. Yeah, I don't know. Like from what I hear, this Asha saying she's gonna be cognizant of that. Right? She's really talking about the creators and letting them. Phil was the same way. So I don't know, man. We'll see because some people are saying that she's just gonna be a puppet for Satya. I don't have a problem with Satya, guys, and I think Satya trusted Phil and Sarah more than people give him credit for. Right? That's not his wheelhouse to get in there. Right? I'm pretty sure he wants to push his own stuff because he's the CEO, right? And integrating Xbox into the Microsoft family, right? I don't have a problem with that either. Plus, he pays the bills. Hopefully, Asha will be able to take that to the next level. Sometimes this is why you need a management change. Did you see it in football all the time, in sports all the time? We'd have to bring in somebody else because it's just not working with the management, the team, and the players. The franchise is suffering, right? So they bring somebody in, somebody fresh, somebody that's going to think outside the box. And I think that's what they're doing with Asha. Hopefully, that's what I would like to see, guys. If you want, again, if you guys watch my channel, man, you know all the hangups I have with Xbox and the direction Phil and Sarah was going. You know what I'm saying? You know. She said, yeah, I can rerun Richard 3 fresh GS2, even though I did it already. Yeah, well, that's what they bank on, man. All that is, like, there's some people's like, oh, why this old game in there? And I'm like, bro, it's the Netflix model, dude. Like, why why do I watch the same stuff over and over again? Because you like it and you don't mind doing it, right? And then some people, haven't played. That's why these guys are doing re-releases of some of their games. And as long as they put the time and effort into it, I don't mind. If it's just a money grab, I won't participate. And some games I haven't even played, guys, that are coming out, right? Because I moved on from PlayStation. Some of the games coming out were only on the PlayStation. I haven't played Witcher 3 yet. I'm mid Witcher 2. The game looks amazing on Series X. Oh, nice. Dude, I'm so behind. I'm supposed to play Red Dead Redemption. Like I said, dude, when there was this little lull that we had with Xbox the last couple months, I took that opportunity to actually play other games. So that was the great thing about it. But now with the new CEO coming in, man, and all the stuff going on, we're back up to full speed. Tree Rivers, but it's the complete edition now, not the OG copy. So I'd love to do it again. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe I'll go check it out, dude. Yeah. So anyway, guys, dude, look, I just a little rant again. Just gotta put that stuff out there. And if you guys watch my videos, you guys keep up with my content, man. You know the direction. You know that this how I feel about this kind of stuff, right? Hopefully, right? She'll get the brand back to good. Because again, it does matter. It does. At the end of the day, it does. And like I said, if the things that she needs to do, right? They need to get that done. Um, they need to take this industry over, and they need to kill the narrative that's out there about Xbox. They need to take these people to task, right? They need to destroy Sony and the competition and their fan base, right? Because those guys need to go. The fact that they're still around in 2025 just boggles my mind. Right? Do everything in your power and my power and money to end Sony and their sycophant fan base. Right? And even the gaming media, man, you force them to bend the knee, drag them along by the nose, and let them know, look, if you want to do anything with gaming, it goes through us. Because it already does, dude. It already all gaming goes through Xbox. Right? Every story that you see, even when I do Xbox, right, they tie it into PlayStation and Nintendo. And I want to see just Xbox stuff, right? That's what she has to do. Exactly what I said. That's what she has to do. If she doesn't do that, dude, if she tries to play nice like Phil did, it's not gonna work out. It just ain't. So anyway, we'll wrap up with some comments. Millennial Power now, Sega. Hopefully it succeeds. Yeah, we'll see, dude. We'll see. I don't know. She seems to be caught from that old school cloth, right? And then Peter Moore did a really great interview. If you guys haven't seen that, go look up Peter Moore. He did a great interview talking about what's going on, and he nailed it perfectly on the head. What you're seeing right now in Asha, at least with the comments, is an old school type mentality, right? And look, dude, I'm not trying to take gaming backward, right? But you gotta respect the past, man. Sometimes to move forward, you just have to, dude. If you lose sight of who you are, man, then you're lost, right? And I think that's what they saw, right, with those numbers. It seems Xbox has no choice to release on PS5. If not, the games get obliterated by the media. No, but they still get obliterated by the media if it's on PS5 or not. Or what the media, these fat boys will do, is better on PS5 or Microsoft. Like they're gonna get rid of their system. That's why they don't have any money. They're not making money. They're broke, even though they're a trillion-dollar company. Look, it's been going on for years. There's no appeasing these guys. I'm telling you, man, it's like freaking what's going on in politics right now, right? In geopolitics, dude. You be nice, you give the carrot, you give the carrot, you give the carrot. And all they do is like they just take the carrot and spit in your face. Right? And so right now you need to get rid of the carrot and it's time for the stick. You It's time to put a whooping on these dudes, man. And I'm all for it. I'm all in, man. I'm all in. I'm ready for it. And this industry can burn. I don't care because it deserves to burn for allowing this crap to happen for a person like Phil Spencer who gave us Game Pass, who set the industry on fire with the purchases that they made, getting Microsoft on board to support everything that he's done. Everything that he's done, dude. That this dude should be, again, should be acknowledged, dude. There should be a special edition. There should be some kind of show that Xbox puts out right now, or the gaming media should be putting out, like IGN, talking about the legacy of Phil Spencer. Do I see that? No. You're not gonna get it, man, because they hate Xbox and anything affiliated with Xbox, and that is to include Phil Spencer, probably one of the nicest guys in gaming. Ray says if an Xbox game is PS5 Pro optimized, PS fans will make fun of Xbox. If they don't do a PS5 Pro version, they get angry at Xbox. Yeah, because it doesn't. It's just a narrative, Ray. Because a lot of them probably don't even buy. They don't like again. They don't buy their own games. Why would they buy an Xbox? Like they might get a fan. They might get some people on Forza, right? But not at the expense of your brand. I don't care what anybody says. It's time to take it back, dude. Right? And one way you gotta flip the switch though is you gotta get down and dirty, man. You gotta get gritty with these dudes. Because it's not, dude, they don't care, dude. They don't care. At the end of the day, these guys don't care. They just want to see Xbox dead. Right? So it's time, man. It's time. I want to see it, and we'll see, dude. Like I said, dude, I don't know. We don't know. It's all speculation at this point. I like what she's saying, but we'll see what she does. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to wrap it up, dude. Went a little bit long. I gotta get up early. Gotta go to work. But I appreciate T Reaper. Thanks, brother. Good seeing you. Ray, good seeing you, man. Thanks for sticking in there, man. With the podcast. Great points too, by the way. Love what you said. And again, when Hebot comes back, I'll do the thing with him, and then have him get his. He has a lot to say, and I want to be right there with him. Right. So Xbox All In channel. Jose Forever. We out.